Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Welcome back to another NASCAR Diecast review. Today, holy cow, check this one out. Erik Jones, Darlington race win. Oh my goodness, this thing is absolutely caked in confetti. Shame it doesn't have it on the windows, but you could easily customize it and add that yourself. But without further ado, this car looks awesome. Let's go check it out. Alrighty folks, we're at another good old box, and here we go. Of course, picked this one up from our friends at Circle B Diecast. Use promo code Diecastbuffet. Any orders $30 or more over there, and you could save on shipping. Make sure to check that out. Help you save on your next Diecast shopping purchase. Looking at the confetti for this car, I mean, I don't know, is it like 10 different colors of confetti? I have no idea, but it looks like Fruity Pebbles, so it's literally all over the diecast. Holy cow. I mean, this thing is caked. Look at all the dirt and grime from 500 miles of the Southern 500. This is Erik Jones' second win in one of the biggest and most toughest races of the year. I mean, say what you want to say about Erik Jones, but the amount of talent it takes to win at Darlington, let alone the Southern 500, wow. And in the playoffs, which most teams save their best equipment for the playoffs. And to add even a little bit of a Larry McNugget, I think each race of the first round, which is round of 16, was won by non-playoff drivers. Erik Jones, Bubba Wallace, and then Christopher Buescher. Look at the front splitter here, man. I mean, it's like a snowplow. I mean, it just literally just caked in confetti. You got Sunoco there, 43, Sunoco. This was the final year this team was called Petty GMS. The next year they'd be called Legacy Motor Club, which is kind of a shame. So you could consider this maybe potentially the last NASCAR race in the Cup Series won by a team with the Petty name in it. You got Focus Factor right there on the hood, or whatever you can see of it. Let's go to the left side of this diecast. And what's funny is that the Focus Factor Chevy was the first diecast we reviewed, the standard paint scheme that is. Now this one looks a little bit different. I don't know what it is, but it just looks a little bit different. Maybe it's the shade of green. Maybe it's, you know, maybe some things are proportioned differently, which is very normal for a diecast to be released based on the Daytona 500 livery, and then they go and win a race in the fall. A lot of things could change, and this sponsor didn't come back next year, which I'm not saying this is the reason why, but there's kind of a blessing and a curse when it comes to a sponsor winning in the Cup Series. You know, Chase Elliott Sun Energy 1 was his first ever race to win, or his first ever win sponsor. Well, if you're sponsoring the most popular driver and they win their first race with you, you're probably never going to get more market share by continuing to sponsor that team. So you might as well just pull out, and guess what? Every time they show Chase Elliott's first win, they're going to see your sponsor in victory lane. Same thing with Budweiser. They all those wins are the Dale Jr. days, right? The Daytona 500, all the Talladega wins, all on the 8 car, the Bud car. They really don't have to go and sponsor another race car to be relevant. They're going to be relevant in stock car racing history forever, just like STP with Richard Petty every time you see the 43. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that's the reason why they left, but they probably got more publicity by winning this race than they would have if they would have sponsored in 2023 is what I'm trying to say. So you got Goodyear there, Cup Series, Erik Jones, Focus Factor, Nutrition for the Brain, Insane in the Membrane, Champion Power Equipment, which I believe is, that's the sponsor of Grant Enfinger, and Grant Enfinger drives for GMS Racing in the Truck Series, so there's a little bit of a connection there. What's his face? I can't even read that decal there. Get safety clean, got U.S. Air Force. Look at all the dirt and grime on that left rear fender. I mean, that is just so cool. I'm so glad he won this race. I think it was Hamlin that was second, and he was closing in the closing laps, and I'm just so glad what's-his-face won. Erik Jones did. Got STP there, back tools, and whatever decal that is. You get the back end of the car, and you can just see all the cracked, damaged, and grimy composite body panels of this car. The spoiler, that's interesting. So the front side of it that touches the air is black, but the back end of it is blue. Now that is different. Or did they just not wrap it correctly? I don't know, because there's a black spot here. I have no earthly idea, guys. This one might be a defect. Who knows? Focus Factor, once again, Camaro, got the 43, CL1. This paint scheme reminds me so much of A.J. Allmendinger's 2010, I think it was Insignia car. It was like green and blue. It was like some type of I don't know, some type of electronic company or Best Buy associate sponsor. Anyways, It reminds me so much of that car from 2010, which I want to say was in NASCAR the game 2011. I don't know. Getting sidetracked here, guys. So this is probably from the burnout. You could just see all the rubber just slapped the side of the car doing the burnout. This would be a fantastic diecast to customize if you could potentially put the confetti on the windshield, cake it like it's like the 124 is supposed to, and of course add the dirt and grime to the wheels. This would be one epic diecast to have. So if you do get this one, I highly recommend you tweak it like you want. You can customize it, you can leave it stock, whatever you want. But this car is fantastic. One of the best looking race to win diecast ever made. Not 2022, not 2021, ever. This thing is just caked. Now this little opening right here on the roof, that's very normal because they have the cardboard display boxes they put on the car, so he climbs out and you have the little box there, probably says whatever, was it, who sponsors the Southern 500? Is it Bojangles or something? Potentially has like a bottle, Gatorade bottle or something, whatever they use. Then you go over here to the deck lid, and shame on them, they didn't sponsor the deck lid. Guess what? They could have got a brand there, and Victory Lane, they didn't do it. I gotta say, I really like the Focus Factor paint scheme, the clean version of it. Whenever we did a diecast review, that was the first ever next-gen diecast we reviewed. And let me tell you, it was a beautiful paint scheme. And to see it in Victory Lane is freaking awesome. Unfortunately, the first half of the 2023 season for what would became Legacy Motor Club has been kind of an oopsie-doo. Jimmy Johnson came on board. He's had one really good run at the Daytona 500. Noah Gragson, the growing pains of being a rookie. Then you have Erik Jones, which I just feel like they've lost all the speed. I don't know what they've changed in the offseason in terms of mechanical parts. So the only thing I could think of is potentially Chevrolet is not giving them enough speed. Well, because they're going to Toyota, which is going to be really weird. I mean, could you imagine the 43 car with Toyota? It's interesting because, I'll end the video on this. A lot of people think that's like the most taboo thing ever to see the 43 with a Camry badge on it. But the reality is this. Whether it's Petty Enterprises or Petty Motorsports or whatever the biff you want to call it, they have been a part of almost every single manufacturer in the sports history. You can go back to the 60s and 70s with Plymouth, right? They were with Ford, they were with Dodge, Chrysler, whatever you want to coin it as. And then in the 80s, they were with Pontiac, even in the 90s. Then they switched to Chevrolet. And then they switched to, I think their Bush program, had Chevys, because, it was the year 2000 or 2001. I think it was either Kyle Petty or their Bush program with Adam Petty. They had Chevys, I believe. And, of course, they switched to Dodge when they came on board for the Cup Series. They ran those until the team merged with what was left of Evernham. And then they ran Fords for 2010. And then, 2017 was the last year they ran Fords. They went to Chevy again in 2018. So my point is, and why all that's relevant, is they have ran almost every single manufacturer in NASCAR history since like the late 60s. So it's not really that taboo, to be honest with you. They have never been just one tried and true brand. They have ran every single manufacturer out there just about. And, that's kind of expected when you have a team that's been around forever, although it might not officially be around, but we all know it's the same, essential, team, so to speak. It's just been rebranded and, combination of different smaller teams that fold and X, Y, and Z. But enough of me, I guess you can say harping on that. But what do y'all think about this diecast, guys? Really awesome paint scheme. Don't wait. Don't miss out. If you're an Erik Jones fan, he's won 3 Cup Series races, right? 3 of them. He won the 2018 Coke 0400. They made a 164 race win for that. That thing is caked in confetti. His 2019 Southern 500 win didn't even get made. The clean version of the Darlington paint scheme didn't get made in the 164 scale, and they didn't even make the race win in the 164. So you have to make that one yourself. Get this one. Get it, guys. You're gonna thank me later. It is a beautiful race win. Thank y'all so much for watching. God bless. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it, please. And hope to see you in the next NASCAR Diecast review. This diecast is awesome. Diecast Buffet. Showing off.